Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite and refire and refuel your life. And this is a very inspirational show for all of us to lift up our hopes and expectations. And really, there's no time to dream small anymore. We're going to play and dream big. And today is the day. So, my special guest today is Veronica Vargas. You see her on the screen if you're with us right now or you're watching a replay. If you're listening to us, let me tell you a few words about this amazing soul that she is. So, this is just a little bit of the official bio for Veronica. Veronica is a creative and imaginative child. She was a creative and imaginative child, but after decades of conformity, she found herself struggling with dissatisfaction and a deep longing for fulfillment. Veronica returned to her childhood passions, drawing, writing, and playing, and established Shaboo Prints. It's a company, a boutique lifestyle brand designing positive, feel good products. Today, Veronica considers herself an Imagineer, a social expressionist, and entrepreneur on a mission to return millions of adults back to a wondrous world full of potential, play, and a knowing that expressing their real self is the whole point, aka their happy place. And this is who Veronica is. Today, guys, if you haven't watched the first episode where we really dig deeper into Veronica's story, please go back and watch. It's gonna be on YouTube. If you go to Zhanna Shpits, Dream Big with Zhanna, and put Veronica, you'll find it. Or you can find it here on Hummingbird Academy today Facebook page. So please watch Veronica's story. It's worth it. I promise you.
Mm.
And today's episode is dedicated to play, creativity, and we're going to dig into Veronica's creative process and how she designs the cards and how you do all the other. In the announcement, I promised a surprise for you guys. It's something that we've never done on the show. So bear with us and stay tuned. So, Veronica, welcome to the show. First, please,
Thank you, and welcome back to the Shaboo studio. I'm so glad we're together to play today.
we are together to play. Yes. So, Shaboo is the founder of the Shaboo Prints. Can you please let us in again, just briefly, into what this is all about? Like all this organization, and I would say boutique, like boutique lifestyle shop, or what's Shaboo Prints?
Well, we're really a lifestyle brand. Basically, our mission is to return you to the wondrous world that we felt as children, with the belief that it's still there. The only thing that's changed is our perception. So what we're working to do is to change your perception back to the possibility that that world and all your potential still exists. And we happen to do it through play. So under our brand, we have various products such as greeting cards and gifts and animations and vlogs and new programs developing. So it's a place for you to come and start exploring different worlds, a world where the real you can come out and have a safe place to express yourself.
That's awesome. So let's just dig into that. We touched upon the subject of who you're creating the products, which is really the ideal client. Sometimes people call it the target audience. So, who are these people that you're creating this product for? It's, yeah, for
Well, yeah.
entrepreneurs, it would be really interesting to know.
Well, thank you. I think this applies to anyone creating or doing anything that makes a difference. And that is, you're the only thing that you know, your path and your story. So when I reach out to others, I'm essentially reaching out to others that are like me, because that's all I know. I knew in my life path what I needed to get to where I am today. And I feel it's a very successful, happy place. And so what I am aiming to do is approaching others that were very similar to me. So I'm looking at, in most cases, young adults, middle-aged adults, who have lived their life according to someone else's prescription, someone else's story. And I'm asking them, and I'm assuming there's millions out there that are feeling a level of dissatisfaction, maybe even hollowness in doing that. And so I'm basically, approaching them saying, so how's that worked for you? I gave all of that all those shoulds up and started following my own path, using my own skills, creating my own wealth using my own skills. Maybe you want to consider trying that too. We've not listened to the messages of the heart, many of us, and now I'm asking, maybe it's time to listen to those messages, and I'm here to help you go in and try to hear that voice, that inner voice. Yeah. So my ideal customer happens to be someone very similar to me. And that's how I identify the person. And I also realize that as long as I get down into my own truths, what makes me tick as a human and as a soul, and what works for me as a human and as a soul, tends to be a truth that connects with many. So as long as I stay true to myself, I can connect.
You are a living proof, a living example, a proof that you can come back to this happy place. And not only that you can dare to live it, and you can be super successful doing what you truly love and stay in your joy and be truthful to who you are. It's amazing. Let's look at the example. Can you show us something?
Okay, so here we go. We're going to try some new technology here with Zhanna's courage. So I'm going to do this.
That's the surprise, guys. I promised you we've never done that. We're going to share screen and look at one of the Veronica's creations, and we'll kind of tap. You lead us where you want to start.
I would love to read you some lyrics from one of my favorite and inspirational songs called Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Oh. And before we begin, let me just say this. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. And with that, we'll start.
I love it.
Hi, Jared. Thanks for inviting me. Hey, the spread looks good. Hey, place looks good. They should be here any minute, eh? I wasn't in Jerry's house 2 minutes before I saw a dog card. Jer, finish what you were doing. Don't mind me. I'll wait here. Now, I was well aware that these dog cards were magical. I already entered the worlds of the Chihuahua, the German Shepherd, the Rottweiler, and the Dachshund. And I also knew that when I saw them wink, a new adventure was about to begin. Stay in the kitchen, Jer. I'll answer the door once the doorbell rings. And I jumped in. Yow! What kind of wonderland is this? I love this world. My eyes followed the bark where I saw a beautiful brown husky towing a wooden sled. Time to follow. The husky spotted a small colony of penguins on the horizon and curiously approached. To his right was the majority of the colony, talking and socializing. To his left was a singular penguin, rather unnoticed. Hello there, over here. Yoo-hoo, how you doing? Hello there, over here. Yoo-hoo, hello. Aww. Not wanting going to leave the frustrated penguin, the husky pulled his sled up to the little guy with an invitation. Ooh. The penguin didn't expect the fast ride, and he wailed until he saw the potential for fun. Oh, funny how all it takes is a change in outlook. Whoa! And there he goes! He's on the top of the heap, going faster than everybody else. Oh! La 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 cha cha. La cha cha la da. A world that's always new and bright. A world that's new with bright. Coloring the world with my heart makes it far more vast and wide. I see how beauty abounds, and this is one wonderful ride. Yikes! Huh? Okay. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. You're too kind. You're too kind. Too kind. Too kind. Ta-da! I adore my pet. It's so funny that you say that, because that's the same thing that happened to me last week. It was when I was in another dog card. Excuse me, guys. There's someone across the room that I just have to meet.
That was beautiful. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
I hope so.
This is your voice, right?
Actually, I have someone who's done some acting work, and she did the voiceover.
She did, because it sounds like it was yours.
Well,
but it's all your and you write the script for this little animation. You call it the animation, right?
Yes.
This is the
basically, during my creative process, when I'm creating a card, so this is the result of the card. This is the kind of story and plot line that starts to bubble up when I feel into you. What is it that you would need in a fun, playful way? And then these stories start to come. And once the characters evolve, then I know what character to put on the card. But then I have this whole narrative and story that's attached to the images, which we then pull you into to explore a little bit more. And of course, that theme is about, expressing your true self. And if you do it playfully and honestly, the reception tends to be pretty good, and you tend to be more accepted than you think. So,
and it's what I love about it. It's appealing to adults and children as well, because it's just so it's timeless. It's absolutely, it has no time. It's the divine time, right? Which is not the human, which is limited.
That's right. All truths are timeless. And this goes with any kind of expression. If you're truly expressing yourself, you are going to connect with many people, because there's only a finite amount of truths.
Beautiful. So I have a question. So you usually do it as a customized version of it. People come to you and say, well, somebody's birthday is coming up, or some special occasion, and then you create a story around that. Or these stories, like, what's the creative process around that, the creative side and also the business side of that? So let's talk on both, whatever you want to start with.
Okay. With the creative side, which is, really my forte, it's trying to reach masses. So I do custom work when required, but I really want to focus on doing something that applies to many. That's why we use animals, because we're crossing. It could be either for women or men, unisex, adults, And so when I feel into you and I feel, what is it that you need? What kind of support is it that you need from me? And the most important part of the creative process is giving myself the time for it to bubble up. One of the quotes that Shaboo, we have a lot of what we call Shabooisms, which are original quotes written from the heart. And one of them is, contrary to popular belief, creativity is not difficult. However, surrendering to the level where the creative flow occurs can be the struggle. So that is my struggle. I wait for that creative flow, which means I can't usually push an issue. If it doesn't pop in, I can't force it, because I have to realize that in order to get to my truths and connect with you, even though I may not see you, I have to be in agreement that I am in partnership with a bigger process, with something bigger. And so I need to quiet this so that that partner can come in and share and express. So then I know what it is that you guys need. So a lot of the times, the most challenging part of the creative process is not to push it, is to believe that it's there, to access it, to give it time. And this applies to all of us. We're all creative beings. But I think our minds spin so much that, it can't drop in, it can't be there. So that's one of the most challenging things. And then when I realize I'm in a point of truth, and there's a lot of conflict that goes on, because my heart, again, will say, well, this is what I think is required, what people want to connect with, an image. And my mind will say, well, people aren't going to want that. That's crazy. These are the trends. This is what people are going for. And so there's actually a moment where I go through some inner struggle between this and this. And the whole point is this.
Yes.
So, and I know that's the only way that I can connect with you, all of you. So it's an interesting process, that struggle and tension. And the more I become aware of it, the more I think I understand how we tick, So, but it is about timing and releasing and surrendering and accepting that there is a partnership that's happening. And it's those creations, designs that I think are just absurd to my mind that tend to be the hot sellers, which is the irony again. I'm getting lots of feedback that as long as I stay true to this, in all of my messaging, in all of my living, in all of my expressions, I'm making a positive difference. I'm leaving a positive footprint. I'm connecting with others and becoming a messenger of good, which is my goal. And hopefully have you guys join in as messengers of good to buy a Shaboo card. So that's the kind of energy infused in our products.
Yes, absolutely. So it's shabooprints.com for you guys to check out. And also it's included in the invitation and the announcement, the Imagineering, right?
Yay, that's
Imagineering.
perfect.
It's the link. It's the gifted Imagineering gift from Veronica and from Shaboo Prints, so that you can experience that and bring a little bit of the joy injection into into your life, into your day. So check it out. I also want to say that I absolutely love your vlogs. The vlogs are, some of them are very hilarious, and some of them you just so open and so staying to the truth, as you said. And it's an example to many, because a lot of us are still struggling with the idea of, if people know the wholeness of me, if they truly knew me as the whole person, would they like me? And that fear of being rejected or being not accepted, which is the same thing, almost with a slight deviation from that, um, makes people stay in their own bubble and be unhappy for the rest of their life. And some people choose that. So I just admire and appreciate, and with that first of all, you have the time to talk with us and share this joy on the program, and also it's just my personal. You are my personal inspiration in life. How you can boost your creativity and actually make a living out of it. I don't even know if you call it a living. It's like, are you familiar with the notion working hard? Or is it playing
I did
hard
decades
for
of
you?
that, and I found it didn't get me very far. And as a matter of fact, I was working for others very hard, and it didn't do much for my lifestyle. So I'm trying something new, and I'm finding that this is it. And I think the whole point is being our real selves. That the gold that we have to offer, whether it's you being a good whistler, or you're like the best tree climber, or you know how to file papers like nobody's business, whatever it is you bring, you're supposed to be bringing it, but there's no way to access it if you don't just say, this is who I am, and it's just right. And so, we're encouraging you to just explore it, and you can do it in safe ways, like, virtual realities like this, or with Shaboo, just to see what your truth is. And I want to be truthful again, that exposing yourself is not an easy thing to do. I like being behind the curtain. That's my preference. But I realize the importance of bringing myself to the world. And this applies to all of us. And, exposing myself, in the last interview, I felt a little edge of nausea because I was getting real. So, but that's, now I connect. That's how we connect, is through our truths. We're so inundated with lies and lies and negativity and all that. It just isn't working. So,
And also staying, I think what I love, not that I think, this is what I love about you. You truly live your story. Like today's episode, we titled it "Coming Back to Your Happy Place." The first one was "Live Your Story," and that's what you are doing. And you have the courage. It's not even the courage, probably at this point. It's the decision that you made, which was the courageous decision. But now you are staying, just staying in your truth. I wanted to also say that the animal theme, which you are absolutely right, is so universal, and it also, what I see from where I am right now when I'm looking at your work and the animal cards that I have. Veronica has this, and I absolutely love this. See, I don't know if you guys can see. I see you. This is so cute. And lots of others. And this is really cute. I mean, I just love it. All of them. What I was going to say, I did not realize how closely we are connected to nature, which is kind of not the business side of things, it's the humane side of things. And it's not just the animal world, it's our world. It's like the reflection, what you see in the penguins, the way they interact, and the husky, just today's movie that you shared with us, and the husky dog. I mean, it's not that they are guests on our space, in our space. It's actually the other way around. And I love that. It just dawned on me when I was watching.
well, if we think about it, the most popular YouTube videos are of animals. Why? Because I think we get actually a reprieve in a moment looking at their truth and transparency. It's so real that
Yeah,
we feel, because that's the true state.
it is real because they don't lie. They don't know how to lie.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
And
completely safe. And so that's why I think joy is such an important, and play is such an important part of our own progress, that it actually serves as a portal for all that good stuff to start dropping in. So I use tools, and I would love to ask you about, even your creative. I know you're an extremely creative person.
yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. I just wanted, may I point out something that I just heard for you guys who are entrepreneurs? I just love, Veronica, how you found something. See, you want to spread your message to millions, basically, and you found something that is true to you, but then it's also true to millions. And so this is as a branding idea through the animals and something that connects with millions of people out there. It's brilliant. So we can just learn and learn and learn from you, from as an entrepreneur and as a creative person.
And
Yeah,
truthful marketing messages too, because I think we've become so tuned to lies and negativity, and we can actually smell when it's a cold sales pitch, when there's an untruth in there. Instinctively, the market's getting very savvy and very good, and so it's even becoming more important for you to get down to why you're doing what you're doing, what it is you bring, and you have to do it truthfully nowadays because we can smell the
absolutely.
other. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, totally. Yes. So I guess I'll answer the question about my creative process. Very similar to yours. I write songs, right? I do not draw. I think, well, at least I think I can't, but I'll try. I had an inkling the other day that I actually want to play with color and start drawing. All of a sudden, I never had that even desire in my mind. So I
Fab.
play with words, and most importantly, I play with melodies. And they, for me, it's always a download. It's a download. We were just talking before the interview off camera with Veronica how it all happens. It's you never know when the image or idea or the phrase pops into your head, but once it's there, it's like a little tiny seed, and then when it comes back again, I have a tendency to have like a pen and a little notebook or a scrap of paper everywhere I go. Like in my car, on my driver's seat, I mean, on the passenger seat, I always have something if because I know the ideas come at a very unusual time when I least expect them. And then next to my bed, on my dining table, like you name it, there's always a piece of paper and a pencil, at least, because I know a pencil. I mean, it's just easy to carry. Um, and then you jot the ideas. The last song, you don't know how long the gestation period is. Just like you said, I never push it. Once you push it, you can smell yourself. You can smell the artificial kind of made. I always compare that to the professional actor's job.
Mm.
When you see the professional actor on stage, you never see any trait of preparation. It seems like he just or she just popped on stage and did it just spontaneously. You do not see hours and hours of sweat and experience and education and conversations and wrecking your brain around like where to turn your head, how to move your arm, do you stay still, and all that. Very similar. Although when the amateur comes on stage, you see all the hours he or she has put into what they're doing. Same with writing a song and maybe with you. So when we push it, it feels like we are the amateurs where you see the work that's been done. And that's not what is coming through as the authentic um, bridge from me to you. When it's easy and when it's just a download and then you wait and listen, and just like you said, we need to quiet ourselves because the creative ideas come when you are completely still. And whether you do meditation, whether you just rest and take a time just to allow yourself to get enough sleep for 3 days at a minimum in a row consistently, that's what we're, I mean, there's a lot of research around that. Then the idea is all of a sudden, or you go for a walk and then boom, and
Mhm.
completely not related to what you're doing in the moment.
Mhm.
You wait and then it's cooking inside of you, and then all you need to do is just for you, you just uh, you work with the mouse and a computer screen or with a pencil in a piece of paper. With me, I need to pull up my phone and just start singing the song. That's how I create. So very similar, right?
It is, and creativity has been given such a stigma and a bad rap because so many folks poo poo it thinking, well, I don't know how to paint, so I'm not creative. When creativity is a state of being that everything is creative. I mean, you're creative, and so that's kind of your secret sauce. So if you poo-poo it, you're poo-pooing, the very gold that you can give us as an employee, as a person, as a citizen. So finding your own process is really important to connect with that other thing. And I'll play. Sometimes I find it very necessary to wear some cat ears, if I'm just feeling down because things are really rough, maybe just a little something, and then it gets harder to really be down and negative, and then it's just you start to play. So whatever those tools are that work for you to get to this other thing and uplift you, so that it can start dropping in. I mean, do it. Get tools. It doesn't sometimes just happen, like you're saying, whether it's walking in nature, having a still moment. Showers are really big for ideas.
Salt baths, saunas, if people like it, or just talking to a friend about nothing.
Yeah.
May I share? I want to share with you just one phrase from my son. I was doing a program, as you know, like I'm working with kids also. And on that radio show at that time, I was very interested in the question, do we have a gap between adulthood and childhood? And there were 4 kids on the show, and I asked the same question. And my son gave the most like precise and what's the word escaped me, concise answer to that. She just puts it in one sentence. And so I said, do you think there is a gap between adulthood and childhood? And if yes, what can we do to bridge it? And so he says, yes, mom, there is, and I'll tell you why. We kids don't have experience being adults. You guys forgot how to have fun with no agenda.
Wow.
That's what you're talking about. It's like putting the glasses on and looking through this, different, just putting a change in the color of the world, or putting the cat ears, whatever works. It's just fun, unrelated to anything, but it gives you access to the deepest truth about who you are.
Yeah, and it's so sad. Play, even the word play, can be difficult for a lot of adults.
Yes.
They actually react negatively to the concept of play, which is, there's something in there. That means there's power in there. If we're saying, no, I don't want to open up, it's too painful, or whatever their reasons are. So just getting adults to accept the idea of play is a challenge.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there's secret sauce in there.
Yes, it is. And the last, what comes to mind, I just want to share. I have a friend, and he's the editor-in-chief of a very big newspaper, local newspaper. And he's so playful and so easygoing. I mean, when we are off camera, as soon as he's in public, he would never put a smile on his face. And I once asked him, why do you never smile when you are in public? You smile all the time when we are together. And he says, well, because I believe that people will never take me seriously.
Yeah. That's the path of again, that I think things have been flipped upside down in our culture, opposite to some real truths. And that if it's serious and negative, almost, there's a seriousness, there's a truth to it. But if it's light and playful, it's unreal. It can't be real. Very strange. And yet, why are folks like flocking to things that are playful and real and truthful and light? There is a truth in there. We're obeying physically, but our hearts know that there's a different truth. And so if you can access that, that's a wondrous thing. And it's everywhere. You could look up into the tree, you can look at a cloud, you can look at your children, you can look at your pet. Opportunities to find the gold and the positive and play in life are everywhere. And that's one of the other things we do in the detail of our images, is we try to get you to look at the small things, because there's gold everywhere. You're literally, there's glitter on the ocean. I mean, it's fantastical the way the world really is, if you can allow it, if you can see it differently.
If you can allow it. Anything can happen if you let it. Remember from Mary Poppins?
Yep.
Yes,
I love your voice.
I love, thank you, Veronica. I mean, we can talk for hours and hours and hours. And
Yeah.
well, let's give people a little bit of the like peek through into another episode we're about to create together. Veronica, you see how she is absolutely just being who she is in front of the camera, but it's not always been that way. So she is going to coach us on how to be authentically you when you are in front of people, in front of camera, and how to have this magnificent presence. Am I right?
Yes, there's the power of video today to communicate and connect is undeniable. It does require you stepping out though in front of the camera, and if you're going to do it, I applaud you. But in order to connect, it needs to be you, truthfully you. And I can give you some tips, and we also have some other fun things to show you. And I'll show you one of the vlogs on how you can connect using this very powerful media.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So, but meanwhile, guys, you're watching and listening to Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. If you like what you see, if you love today's conversation with Veronica Vargas, please comment below the video. Let her know what you think about this creation, about the husky dog and the story that she showed and shared with us. And go and visit her site, shabooprints.com, or not or, and take advantage of bringing the joy, a little bit, the little injection of joy into your daily lives by downloading her gift, which is, and the link to the gift is below this video. So please, please, please share with your friends, enjoy, and more importantly, smile, because we do take you seriously when you smile. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Love you and talk to you very, very soon.